So student, this is the remaining part of the yesterday lecture. So the first part is this conductive heat transfer in rectangular slab. So in this particular slide we will learn, for example, there is a rectangular slab, or we can assume this is a wall, and if we know about the T1 temperature of X side of the wall, and we know about the thickness of the wall, and we have an idea about the thermal conductivity of the wall, then we can determine this value of T2. So how we can determine this value of T2? We will proceed like, so consider a slab of constant cross section area. So here the cross section area is constant, and the temperature T1 is on the side X, and we will develop a equation to determine temperature T2 on opposite side, that is Y, at any location inside the slab under steady state conditions. So this problem is solved by first writing the Fourier's law, and we have learned that Q is equal to minus Ka dt by dx. So let me recall you, Qx is the heat transfer, rate of heat transfer, and Qx is indicating the direction of heat transfer. K is the thermal conductivity, A is the area, dt is the temperature difference, and dx is the thickness of this wall. Fine. So now we will put the boundary conditions when x is equal to x1. This is the point x1, and then temperature is equal to T1. T is equal to T1, and at point x is equal to x2, temperature is equal to T2. So we will put these values in the next equation, means in the equations. So we will do little shifting in this qx, and area will remain constant. So we will bring this area on the left hand side. So it will become qx upon a, and we will also take this another terms, that is your distance or the thickness of the wall, on the left hand side. So finally we will get qx upon a into dx minus k dt. So in the next part, in the next step, so we left with qx upon a dx minus k dt. So now we will integrate it by putting the boundary conditions. So here it will be x1 to x2. Here it will be from t1 to t2. So qx upon a is the constant uh, quantity. So we will keep it outside. So just we will integrate the dx value, and in this case k is the constant. So we will keep this k outside the integrations. So we will integrate only dt. So when you will put the boundary conditions, so dx will be x2 minus x1, and dt will be t2 minus t1. Fine. So from here what you will obtain, qx is equal to this term as it is, t2 minus t1 k, and we will replace, or we will transfer this a on the right hand side. So it will multiply with k. So it is ka, and this x2 minus x1 will be shifted on the bottom side of the right hand side. So from here we have a value of qx, it is equal to minus ka t2 minus t1 x2 minus x1. So by solving the equations, you will find out T2 will equal to T1 minus Qx upon Ka x2 minus x1. So T2 is the temperature on the inner side, that is on the side your Y. So to determine the temperature T at any location X within the slab, we may replace T2 and x2 with the unknown temperature and the distance X respectively. So the T will be equal to T1 minus x1 divided by Ka into x minus x1. What does it mean? Basically, we have solved it for the T2, and now by these equations, if we know the value of T1, then we can find out what will be the temperature here, what will be the temperature here, and what will be the temperature here. So that temperature will be represented by only T, and this distance will be represented by X. Understand? So next part is the conductive heat transfer through a tubular pipe. The story will remain same, but the only difference is that here we will put the area of cylinder or the tubular pipe. So here it has been shown there is a tubular pipe of the length L. Its internal radius is Ri and outer radius is Ro. Average radius is R. Okay. So we will determine how the heat is transferred in the tubular pipe. So the formula will be same, QR in place of X. Now we are taking QR because it is having a radius. So the heat transfer will be in the all directions. So Ka minus Ka dt by dr. Dr is here for the small thickness, this thickness of the pipe. Fine. We will do the little shifting. In place of A we have taken 2 pi RL, the area of the cylinder, 2 pi RL, and boundary conditions are Ti when the radius is Ri. At the Ri temperature Ti exists, and at the radius Ro the temperature To exists. So temperature is equal to Ti when R is equal to Ri, and temperature is equal to To when R is equal to Ro. So now what we will do, we will bring this constant term on the left hand side, Qr upon 2 pi RL. Okay, and we'll bring this dr on the left hand side, dr. So this R and dr as expect means sorry other than this means dr and r, these two terms qx upon 2 pi l, it is a constant, so we will keep it outside, and on the right hand side we will be left with minus k dt. So now we will integrate it. It is something dx upon x. So in the previous case we were with the only dx. Okay, so it is dr upon r, and when you will integrate it, it will be natural logarithm of ro minus ri. Fine. So in the next step you have integrated it, natural logarithm of ro minus ri, and if something is written as natural logarithm of ro minus ri, then we can write natural logarithm of ro by ri. Natural logarithm of ro by ri means if log a minus log b is written, then we can write it log a by b. Fine. So here we will be left with to minus ti. So when you will open this equation, it will be k bracket to minus ti. In the next step, this negative sign has been changed because the negative was bring outside, and this when you will flip this to minus ti, then it will become ti minus to, and this negative sign will be removed. So qx finally will be 2 pi l k, 2 pi l, and this k into ti minus to divided by natural logarithm of ro upon ri. So by these equations you can determine the conductive heat transfer in a tubular pipe. Now there is another concept, and that concept is according to the Ohm's law. And according to Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. Fine. So V is the driving force which decide how much electric current will pass through, and this R is the resistance. So we can write this equation like as I is equal to V upon R. So in our case, I is Q, V is temperature difference, and the remaining things are the resistance. So to represent this equation in form of Ohm's law or in form of thermal resistance, which has been shown in this picture RT, this equation can be written as QR Ti minus To, and natural logarithm of Ro upon Ri divided by 2 pi Lk. So this value, natural logarithm of Ro upon Ri divided by 2 Lk, it is the RT. Fine. RT is equal to natural logarithm of Ro upon Ri divided by 2 pi Lk. So a homology kind of thing has been established because I is the electric current. The amount of electric current passed through any conductor will be directly proportional to voltage. And similarly here, the amount of heat transfer will be directly proportional to the your temperature difference, and inversely proportional to the resistance. So this value is representing the resistance, and this value is representing the your voltage or the driving force. So this concept we will use in the next case. So This is the another case in which there is a rectangular slab, and this rectangular slab is made up of three different material, and so if there are three different material, then their thermal conductivity will also be different. Like here it is Kb, Kc, Kd. Fine. So it is of the distance delta xb, delta xc, and delta xd. Okay. So to solve this, first of all, we will calculate the value of this delta, yeah, TB, TC, and TD. So TB is the temperature difference that exists in the first layer. TC is the temperature difference that exists in the your second layer, and TD is the delta TD is the temperature difference that exists in the third layer. So when you will calculate delta T will be T1 minus T2. Here it is T1 and here it is T2. So delta T will be equal to T1 minus T2, and this T1 minus T2 will be the sum of these 3 delta T. Understand? So to find out the value of delta T, delta TB, the equation is Q is equal to, let me recall you this equation. This equation, Q is equal to minus Ka dt by dx. So from here, if we find out the value of dt will be simply equal to Qx into dx by Ka. Qx dx by Ka. So here they have solved Qx dx by Ka. So in place of dx, they have written here delta xb, because the thickness has been given delta xb, and in place of k, they have written here kb. Kb means the thermal conductivity of the material B. Fine. And similarly, they have derived the value of delta Tc. Delta Tc is equal to Q into del Xc by Kca, and similarly d delta Td will equal to minus Q delta Xd by Kd by A. Sorry, minus Q del Xd divided by Kda. I think you understand. And as I said, the total temperature difference will be the difference between T1 minus T2, and it will be the sum of these two. So from here we have the value of T1 minus T2, and now we can sum up all these terms. So we can keep the minus outside, and if we keep the minus outside, then it will be sum of these three values: delta TB, delta TC, delta TD. Okay. So from these equations, and from this equation and these equations, but else I can take common Q upon A. So from every equations I can take common Q upon A. If I'll take this Q upon A common, then the reaction will be delta XB by KB plus delta XC by KC, delta XT by KD. So from here I can find out the value of Q. So Q will finally be equal to T2 minus T1. It is as it is, and A we can keep it inside. So delta XB by delta KBA plus delta XC by KCA delta XD by KDA. So it seems funny, first they have taken outside and again they are multiplying. Anyway, so this equation can also be written in form of the what you say, thermal resistance. So Q is equal to T2 minus T1. This value delta XB divided by KBA is representing the value of thermal resistance of the first layer. This is the thermal resistance of second layer, and this is the thermal resistance of third layer. So in this way you can determine the conductive heat transfer through a rectangular slab. There can be a second possibility. It can be a composite cylinder also. Composite cylinder means, let there is a cylinder and it is made up of two materials, material A and material B. So here the temperature T1 exists, and here the temperature T2 exists, and here the temperature T3 exists. Understand? So the radius of the inner radius for this layer A is R1, outer radius for the layer A is R2, And if we talk about the inner radius for this layer B is, it will be R2, and the outer radius is R3. So it has been provided that thermal conductivity of layer A is Ka and thermal conductivity of layer B is Kb. So we have derived these equations. Qr is equal to Ti minus T naught divided by natural logarithm of Rho upon Ri 2 pi Lk. So this value is representing the thermal resistance. So Qr will simply equal to Ti minus T3 Rta plus Rtb. It will be the sum of Rta plus Rtb as we have solved in the previous equations, like Q is equal to, in the next case Qr has been written, T2 minus T1 is the T2 minus T1 divided by total thermal resistance of first layer, second layer and third layer. So same formula we can apply here, that Qr will equal to T1 minus T3. It is the temperature difference because the inner temperature is T1 and the outermost layer temperature is T3. It will be divided by Rta and Rtb. So what will be the value of Rta? Rta will be Rho minus Ri, or Rho divided by Ri. So the Rho is the outer radius. So in the first case, outer radius is R2 and the inner radius is R1. Fine. And divided by 2 pi LKA. Ka is representing the thermal conductivity of the layer A. And in the second case, it will be the natural logarithm of R3 by R2. Why it is R3 by R2? Because the main equation is this one, na? Rho by Ri. So Rho means outer radius. So outer radius here it is R3 and inner radius here it is R2 for slab 2. So it will be natural logarithm of R3 by R2 divided by 2 pi LKB. 2 pi L as it is and KB represents the thermal conductivity of composite cylinder. So this is all about for the remaining part, and rest I'll cover in the after 2 days I think. Thank you.